As public schools await bond and levy results from next Tuesday's election, millions of Ohio taxpayer dollars are being directed to private schools, some of them with religious ties.
It is a controversial investment. Some question whether the move is even legal. 3 News investigative reporter Peter Fleischer sat down with one superintendent who feels public education is under attack and spoke with the Ohio Senate group defending the decision giving public tax dollars to private schools.
Unprecedented, all those things, but illegal is the one that I always fall on.
Dr. Jim Lloyd has worked in schools for more than 30 years and has been superintendent of Olmsted Falls City Schools since 2013. But all that time in education can't help him understand a wrinkle in Ohio's latest state budget.
It baffles me why we're using public funds to push towards private and parochial schools.
Lloyd is referring to $717 million of surplus money designated for one-time community investments included in the budget this summer. Some of the allotments were given to public facilities like fire services, museum improvements, and community centers. But millions of dollars were also given directly to private schools, some of them religion-based.
Those resources should go to the public school system because that's what the Ohio Constitution says.
It is unprecedented to have taxpayer funds going directly to religious schools.
Rebecca Markert is legal director at Americans United, a national nonprofit dedicated to defending the separation of church and state. They believe this is the first instance where a state has sent money straight to a school with religious ties. Their worry is that by allocating funds directly to schools rather than the families that use the voucher program, the use of taxpayer dollars becomes unconstitutional.
It never gave the money directly to religious institutions. So it's not giving money directly to a church. That has never been deemed constitutional in our country.
We reached out to several private Northeast Ohio schools that received funding to learn about how they plan on spending the money, but haven't heard back. That's part of Dr. Lloyd's frustration.
If you're going to give resources to private institutions, they should follow the same rules that we all have to follow whenever we take public funds, and that doesn't exist right now.
After I requested an interview, the Office of Ohio Senate Republicans directed me to a sit-down with Senate Finance Chair Matt Dolan from Chagrin Falls. Dolan did explain how potential projects were selected.
What projects in my community can we invest in that would produce economic development, more jobs, more revenue, and/or improves the quality of life?
But he doesn't appear to address complaints about religious schools receiving the funds. When I asked about those concerns via email, Director of Communications John Fortney sent me a statement pushing back against Americans United, claiming they are vilifying parents who send their students to a school of their choice. For a longtime educator who has spent his entire career in the public school system, Dr. Lloyd says he supports the growth of all students.
And that's great for those families, and it doesn't mean that those kids don't deserve great programs. They just don't deserve great programs at public expense.
And his doors are always open.
If they want great programs at public expense, come to public school.
Again, this spending was a one-time event due to a budget surplus, so it's unclear if this kind of investment would happen again in the future. Americans United is questioning the legality of the spending. They filed a records request with the Ohio Senate for all related documents. To read Fortney's entire statement and see the full list of who received this funding, you can click this story on our website, WKYC.com, or find it on the 3 News app.